There they are, ladies and gentlemen, the stare down and a few words exchange.
I haven't seen.
You're gonna see Saturday.
Bro,
Saturday
even
night.
the little clips on the what is called that we just had, the gloves off. What the was you throwing?
Hey, you know what?
Davis's corner. So you have Coach Calvin, and Coach Calvin is the head trainer, and you have Coach Kenny, who really specializes on preparing game plans specifically for opponent.
Gervonta Davis has entered a whole new zone, mentally and physically. And this time it's different. With Coach Calvin Ford back by his side. Davis is training with silent focus and deadly intent. But here's the twist. The camp isn't crowded like before. The Washington, D.C. crew that once played a big role. Not this time. This camp is tight. Fewer people, no leaks, zero distractions. Last time, rumors flew that someone tipped off Roach about Davis's game plan. Whether true or not, that kind of noise won't happen again. Now, it's all about trust, silence, and surgical preparation. No cameras, no hype, just war planning behind closed doors. Davis isn't just preparing for a rematch. He's preparing for redemption, and with Ford steering the ship, this isn't just a fight, it's a mission with higher stakes than ever before. The rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach is already a massive hit, minus 150,000 pay-per-view buys. And that's before Fight Night. This isn't just a boxing match anymore. It's an event, a rivalry with real history, real tension, and now, real numbers to match. Fans haven't forgotten how wild the first fight was. The drama, the chaos, the uncertainty, and now they want answers. Can Davis take back control? Or will Roach rise again and shock the world? Analysts saw it coming. This isn't just a sequel, it's a showdown with major impact. These numbers prove one thing. Davis and Roach aren't just fighters anymore, they're headline acts, and their story is now a defining chapter in boxing's current era.
He's 100% correct. Personally, I had Gervonta Davis up a round. Because whenever you have rounds where nobody's doing anything, I'm not just going to do what most people do, and especially people that don't like Gervonta Davis, which is just give the round to the other guy because Gervonta Davis didn't manage to knock him out that round. Okay, so this is Gary Russell Jr. clearly saying, man, no, I don't think Lamont Roach won that fight. You also had Al Bernstein, and Al Bernstein, I'm telling you, is a very, very straight, fair guy. Who I don't know if he was on that call, but he used to work with Showtime. I don't know if he was on there. I don't recall if I heard him. I think it was Rolly Ronaldo that was calling it. But Al Bernstein, who was a very, very objective person, said, hey, look, no. Sorry to break it to you, but Gervonta Davis won that fight. Yeah, Lamont Roach put up a really good fight, but Lamont Roach was not dynamic. He did not do anything to really separate himself from Gervonta Davis. He just kept it equal. He just tried to keep it even the entire fight. And that's not enough, again, to take the belt from the champion. Now, I do want to say that the people that thought that Lamont Roach won, I don't have any problem with that. I really don't have a problem with it at all. I personally, again, had a point for Gervonta Davis, but I can see how those swing rounds really could go, depending on who's looking at it, really could go different ways, right?
Instead of scrapping their original game plan, Gervonta Davis's team is playing it smart, adjusting, not overhauling. After breaking down the first fight, one thing was clear. It wasn't the strategy that failed, it was the execution. Timing was off. Confidence dipped mid. That's where things slipped and where Roach found openings. Now, the team has fine-tuned the details. Sharper angles, better spacing, cleaner reads. They've filled the cracks without tearing down the structure. This isn't about turning Davis into someone new. It's about refining the version that was already dangerous. The one who just needed to strike with more precision and less hesitation. They've swapped caution for calculated aggression, and that's what makes Davis even more deadly this time around. Same foundation. Sharper edge.
Tank out here selling under 150,000 pay-per-views, you kidding me? Oh man, Face of Boxing, yeah, turn that shit off. Yeah, we shutting that shit down. every single time. Does Shakur really want to fight Tank? I think Shakur could sell a bit more with somebody else, especially in Saudi. I feel like they can find him a dancing partner that'll do a little bit better than 150,000. Okay, I get it. This is why PBC delayed this fight for what, 5 months? Y'all ain't want to pay this motherfucker because y'all know he can't sell. I mean, this should have been evident. If you do the math, Tank has never been that great of a pay-per-view draw. He sold over 300K twice now in his career. He sold over 300K with Ryan Garcia. That's obvious. Ryan's the bigger star. And then he sold over 300 with Martin. He sold about 325. But when we put it in perspective, that Frank Martin fight was a comeback fight after a year layoff, so it was always going to sell. Every comeback fight's going to sell. It was one of the first pay-per-views on Amazon's new PBC deal, so they were really trying to push it. And then he had David Benavidez as the co-main event with Gary Russell and Alberto Puello under them. So you take away all those factors that this wasn't a comeback fight. David Benavidez isn't the co-main event, and Amazon has now been in the game for over a year. It makes sense it only sold 150. I know there's going to be a couple of you guys in the comments. No, it sold 500K. Don't be so gullible. It didn't sell 500K. I don't know if Tank's a top. Well, I know for a fact he's not a top 5 draw in the sport of boxing anymore. Whoa. He's not selling pay-per-views. Bivol better be up just triple him. Well, Jerry, their pay-per-views are cheaper. Don't matter. All that matters is who has more eyes watching him, and Bivol and Better BF do. Tank doesn't.
What looked like a clean knockdown in the first fight might not have been what it seemed. New reports suggest Gervonta Davis's fall wasn't from a punch, but from an eye irritation caused by a grooming product. Something as small as hair. Product may have blurred his vision mid-fight, leading to that crucial slip. If true, this changes everything. What many saw as a crack in Davis's chin or stamina might have just been a freak accident, not a weakness. For Davis's supporters, it's confirmation. The man's skill and toughness were never in question. But for his team, it's a wake-up call. In a high-stakes fight, even a minor mistake outside the ring can cost everything inside it. Now, they're leaving nothing to chance. No distractions, no excuses. Just pure focus and a mission to set the record straight.
He got a good chin. Oh, he got a good chin. If you got a good chin, okay, let's go ahead. Let's touch this. The chin ain't the only thing that can get you out of there. There's other things you can do and then go back to the chin. I won't go into detail, but I look at shit different from a lot of people, man. You know what I'm saying? You got a fighter that listen. He's gonna be a hell of a fighter if he listens to what I tell him. You know, all fighters don't listen because some missions you put them on, you gotta walk through hell to get it done, and every fighter is not willing to walk through hell. You know what I mean? But the chin is not the only thing to get a fight out of it, and the body's not the only thing to get a fight out of it. It's other shit too, you know. Yeah. You gotta hurt. I believe in hurting them. You can hurt. You gotta hurt them to get it started, you know.
PD, thank you for the $2. People were surprised by Roach and Tank. What do you think the biggest surprise was in the fight?
It wasn't a surprise because we know Roach. It wasn't a surprise. Roach can fight. A lot of people think because a person is not popular, they don't exist. There's fighters out there that can rumble. They just got to get the opportunity, you know?
Former world champion Mikey Garcia shared his take on Gervonta Davis's rematch, and he didn't sugarcoat it. Garcia praised Davis's raw talent and in-ring adaptability, calling him one of the most gifted fighters out there. But then came the warning. Talent alone won't win this fight. According to Garcia, the real battle isn't just physical, it's mental. Can Davis block out the noise, the pressure, the critics, the personal distractions? That's the truth. Garcia believes Davis has everything he needs to win. The power, the skill, the experience, but none of that matters if his head isn't in the game. This rematch isn't just about boxing, IQ, it's about mental toughness, because when the lights are on and the pressure's peaking, only focus can carry you through.
Let you go because I know you got a lot of shit to do. Lamont Roach versus Gervonta, the rematch looks like it's gonna happen. Hopefully, you know, I'd like to see it.
I think Tank wins in the rematch.
Why?
I think he'll make the right adjustments and he won't take too long to fight. He kind of gave a lot of the round away sometimes. I think he'll be more active and he'll win. But big props to Roach for his last fight and performance. Fuck, surprised everybody.
Right.
I think he was robbed from the victory. Again, that knockdown should have been a knockdown.
Right.
But whatever, he gets a rematch, you know. And maybe they get a third fight, you know, after that. Who knows? Maybe
it turns the market back out.
Maybe it turns out to be another great fucking matchup, and they say, you know what, let's run it back.
Right.
And maybe that controversy from the first fight actually helps Roach fucking get 3 fights out of it instead of just the one, or you know, you never know. So hey, things happen for a reason, and I think he did really well in his first one.
After the first fight with Roach, social media exploded with rumors. People saying Gervonta Davis was done, losing focus, maybe even stepping away from boxing. But Davis didn't respond with words. He responded with work, instead of hiding. From the noise, he jumped straight back into camp. No delays, no excuses. Just action, by locking in the rematch so fast. Davis sent a clear message. He's not running from the past. He's facing it head on. That one move flipped the script. Davis isn't fading away. He's rewriting the ending. On his terms, with purpose, fire, and something to prove.
I just want to know, when is the rematch going to happen at this point? Because I'm not going to lie, for it to be a whole month later and y'all still arguing over who actually won, it's just really like, okay, yeah, run it back, because we got to go ahead and settle this, squabble this up. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say neither fighter in here is shitty, okay? Because after the fight I seen on March 1st, yeah, they both was tagging shit, both getting up with each other, okay? I feel like this is the perfect match. If anybody's gonna do a rematch, for me to be down, period. And Gervonta was stinging him. I'm not gonna lie, he was stinging him. Great fight for him. But I'm not gonna lie, he came out knowing what he was trying to do. Y'all have to give it to him. Like, y'all just be hating, okay? Y'all can't get in the ring and fucking fight. Y'all just be hating. At least I'm giving him no day props, okay? Because Gervonta had a great fight. Don't get me wrong. My money was on him. But I think what messed him up was the fact that when he came out, y'all know he usually be 2 steps ahead. He was 3 steps ahead. I feel like he already had Tank figured out. And he definitely was not expecting that. And him, on the other hand, I think he came in really having something to prove. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like, it was a really good fight, and I feel like this is how I see it. In the beginning of the fight, he was stinking, back to back, you know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the fight, that's when he finally kicked it up. But I seen consistency through him through the whole fight. I'm not gonna lie, like, so I just feel like the rematch should happen, because never know. He might, now that he was 3 steps ahead, become 8 steps ahead. He might want to knock his butt down, but at the end of the day, it's like, we need this rematch, because I don't think this is ever going to be a dispute that is settled and, you know, officially he won, he lost until they fight. Like, we got to see it.
Boxing veteran Teddy Atlas just broke down Gervonta Davis in a way most people miss. While the hype usually focuses on Davis's knockout power and flashy highlights, Atlas looked deeper, and what he saw was even more dangerous. He praised Davis's sense of distance, his rhythm, and most of all, his calm under pressure. According to Atlas, what makes Davis truly elite isn't just what he throws, but when and why he throws it. Davis doesn't panic. He doesn't swing wild when things heat up. He thinks, he waits. Then he strikes with deadly precision. That mindset, the ability to stay cold in chaos, is what separates a puncher from a true killer in the ring. And that's why, in the moments that matter most,
he's going to try to get to us, but we're going to frustrate him. He doesn't get frustrated. He takes his time. He's deliberate. You know, a lot of times at the beginning, people thought he was just a seek and destroy missile. They thought he was just a guy that got to you. And they thought that he would get over anxious. He don't get over anxious. He takes his time. He slowly crosses closes those gaps, you know, inch by inch, step by step, and then he gets to you.
Stephen A. Smith has weighed in, and he didn't hold back. While he gave credit to Lamont Roach's skills and ring IQ, Smith pointed out what he sees as the real mismatch: physicality. According to Smith, Gervonta Davis is just built different, stronger, more explosive, better control in the clinch. If this fight turns into a close-range war, Roach might not have the tools to survive it, no matter how sharp his technique is. Smith made it clear, sometimes fights aren't won with footwork or finesse. Sometimes they're won with raw pressure, power, and physical dominance. And if it gets gritty in there, Davis could overwhelm Roach before the final bell ever rings.
And lastly, Stephen A., last name I of course want to throw your way is Gervonta Davis. I know you believe in his skills.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
What do you think of his fight with Roach? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think Roach is too small. I think Roach is too small. And that's my issue. I'm not questioning the skill set or anything like that. But it was similar to Frank Martin. You know what I mean? This guy comes in there and you got 18 fights. And I remember watching that pre-fight press conference when he was annoying Gervonta Davis so much, and he cussed by accident. Excuse me. He cussed by accident. He was like, ooh, you know, making this up. He hurt me in sparring, and, you know, and And I knew Gervonta was going to come for him, and sure enough, that's what he did. Walked right towards him from round 1 on. But, you know, I remember what he said, and it really, really struck me. Gervonta's a smart dude, bro, and he said you really, really should have waited. You don't have enough experience. You really, really should have waited and took your time before you came to me, and that's what Gervonta Davis told him. And he was right.